And when the ones you trust to be fair and just turn on you,
and you're all alone in the great unknown, and you don't know what you should do.
Find your heart of hearts overflowing
with knowing and play.
If you get that far,
just keep going, remembering this. Do what your heart says you should do.
It's the most precious part of you.
That's where the answers come, when your thoughts are calm and you're searching for the truth. Do what your heart says.
It tells you who you're meant to be, and gives you the strength to believe. Don't settle for less than your dreams. Do what your heart says you should do.
It's the most precious part of you.
That's where the answers come, when your thoughts are calm and you're searching for
the truth. Do what your heart says. Do what your heart says.
Center for Spiritual Living St. George is seeking a new senior minister. St. George is a top Utah destination with its incredibly mild climate and close proximity to not one, but 5 beautiful national parks. It boasts several award-winning golf courses, many parks and recreation areas, as well as over 65 miles of urban trail system. It is home to numerous festivals and art shows, concerts and theater productions, in addition to hosting various national sporting events. All of this in a city with a population of only 90,000 and a metropolitan area of around 172,000. Center for Spiritual Living St. George welcomes diversity and is as spectacular as its surrounding area. Founded in 2011, we have been an integral part of our community, holding weekly Sunday services, offering classes and workshops, and sponsoring special events. We have a dedicated leadership team that includes 6 tenured core council members, 5 licensed practitioners, a staff music leader, and regular volunteers. If you or someone you know might be interested in being a part of this thriving center, please visit our website at CSLSG.org or log on to our Facebook page, Center for Spiritual Living St. George, where we are currently streaming our live Sunday morning services and would love to have you join us. We look forward to hearing from you soon.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living St. George. And that means you, and that means me, everybody else who's participating in service today, everybody who will watch either now or later on. We are Center for Spiritual Living St. George. And as I'm sure you've heard before, we're an open and loving and inclusive community that encourages creating, creatively and living a deeply spiritual life. We have a great cast, if you will, with us today. I'm Marina Anderson, and I'm your host for the morning. Our music leader, Cheryl Barlow, is doing a couple of fabulous songs for us today. Practitioner Mary Klein is doing both our invocation and reading our sacred covenant. And our beautiful message will be provided by Reverend Hannah Rothlin, who is special in my heart. She was my introduction to Center for Spiritual Living St. George, so I'm always very moved to have her with us and giving us a fabulous talk. So we're going to start with Cheryl Barlow sharing with us the song Blessing to the World. Good morning, Cheryl. Cheryl, you're muted.
That would help, huh? Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Good morning, Marina, and glad that everyone is here whenever you are here. As Marina said, we are CSL St. George. And we are also, as Karen Drecker and Reverend David Bruner wrote so beautifully in this song, we are a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth. And who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth. And who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth. And who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. And now I'm going to invite Marian Klein, and she is going to do our invocation. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, everyone. I invite you at this moment, simply take this moment to go within. And I invite you to, if it feels right, to close your eyes. And I ask that you take a nice, deep, conscious breath. Let's do it together. And as you exhale, allow yourself to be comforted by the presence. I start this day with the realization that God is all present, all powerful, all good, and that I am one with this energy. I open my heart and soul to this awareness, and I let it flood my mind and my body. I raise my eyes to source and see only the good, the beauty, and harmony of life this magnificent Sunday morning. I know that source will lead me to the path of goodness this day. Peace fills my mind, and all remaining clouds of doubt and darkness will dissipate. Because of this confidence, I walk this day in complete faith and trust. My life and all the lives I touch this day will be better for this knowing. We are here to expand our awareness and acknowledge our Christ consciousness. We're fully open to others. There are many roads to this awareness. Participating today brings allowance for expanding our own consciousness. We're open, receptive, and available to the new knowledge this morning brings us through Reverend Hannah. In calm confidence and perfect harmony, and trust in complete peace, we express our gratitude for this morning, and so blessed be, and so it is.
And so it is. Beautiful, beautiful, Mary. These lyrics will be on screen so that you can affirm these incredible words with me. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world, a blessing to the world. And now Mary is going to rejoin us and read our sacred covenant for this morning.
Thank you. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with this life, I know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which include the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to express God, I therefore know that my new minister reveals wholeness. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which we believe, for it is written. Let us learn to draw the divine substance down into our own lives, and as freely as it has been given to us, let us give it to others. Thus alone shall we be made whole. It's a quote from Ernest Holmes. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister revealed before me as growing the center in joy and prosperity. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing the truth about myself, for I live the presence and law of God. I demonstrate wisdom through a mature understanding of the wholeness of life. I am accountable and willing to take my responsibilities for my actions. I participate in and support the nurturance and guidance of the community. I act from wholeness and congruence in thought, word, and action. I walk the talk. I embrace, express your own personal truth here for a moment. I now accept the highest expression of my new minister into my life, knowing that they are revealed in a way that expresses God and serves the highest and greatest good for all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful, and so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Absolutely beautiful. So November's theme is living as compassionate conduits. And today our focus is, how is God engaged as us? The Centers for Spiritual Living global vision begins by stating, we envision all people, all beings, and all life as expressions of God. And it ends with, we envision a world that works for everyone and for all creation. Reverend Dr. David Alexander expanded on this, saying, you belong to the world you are in. You add value to your family, immediate friends, and surroundings. Let this truth penetrate your being. Believe, breathe, and feel the vibration of this truth expanding out to society. Let this radiate out into the universe. You are the place where God shows up. We are that place. And we are participants in that world that works for everyone. Step out in earnest, step out in faith. Be of good courage, don't hesitate. We are the blessing that we choose to be. Spirit expressing the hands and feet. The world that works for everyone is knocking at our door. Don't be surprised to realize we're the ones we're waiting for. Hold on to wonder, hold on to truth. Vision and ponder what's mine to do. Feel inspiration, meet you where you are. Love every nation, shine like stars. A world that works for everyone is knocking at our door. Don't be surprised to realize we're the ones we're waiting for. For you, for me, for all we can be. Give rise to the kingdom come in a world that works for everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker today, Reverend Hannah Rothlin. She has a special place in our hearts, a special place at CSL St. George. She happens to be my introduction to CSL St. George and this philosophy as well. So thank you so much for being here, Hannah. Looking forward to your message today.
Very good. Thank you, Cheryl. What a beautiful song to introduce our topic today. And thank you, Chris and Marina. Chris in the background doing tech, and Marina for being the MC. Thank you, Mary, for the beautiful invocation and that beautiful reading of affirming your new minister. That idea in the mind of God that there is a perfect spiritual community leader waiting to find this incredible community. And I'm so grateful just to be part of the team that has that just supports this community and that I dearly love. So it's so good to be here with all of you today. So I just wanted to, Cheryl introduce the topic. The topic of the month is about being compassionate conduits. And what's really wonderful is all around the world, all of our centers for spiritual living this whole month are talking about compassion and being the hands and the feet and the voice and the presence of God in the world as compassion, as love, as truth. So I know it really lifts me up to know that We're not by ourselves in St. George talking about this topic and working with these various ideas, that as a movement, these ideas of being the presence of God, being the love of God, being the compassion of God is what we are all striving to be. And it's already there. God is fully engaged in us as us. And what our opportunity here is to allow the expression and the love and the compassion and the values that help create a world that works to be that expression as us, in us. Before I get into our topic today, I just want to speak to all the things that are happening right now in the world that are close to our hearts, and we're being touched in many ways. So I just want to speak to this experience that we're having around the COVID virus. I know our personal community in St. George and in the state of Utah, there's a heightened awareness of that we need to be safe. We need to do all that we can so that we can be safe and help others be safe. And it's really heightened for all of us in Utah, as well as in many other places. And I just want to speak out to our healthcare providers and our health workers and the people that are those essential workers that are right out there on the front lines. And I just speak a word of blessing and prayer for all those who are doing their part. And I'm also, my heart is hurting. I went to one of my favorite coffee shops earlier in the week, and the doors were closed. She couldn't keep her business open because of the virus, of the shutdowns in public places. And so many people or business owners are being touched, and families are either caring for loved ones, or you're a single parent taking care of your children at home. Various ways we're all touched by it. And I just want to speak to that, remembering that in the midst of whatever is going on, Spirit is at the present, at the center of whatever is going on, despite appearances. What we recognize in our philosophy is, in the midst of whatever is taking place, Spirit is present. Spirit is present 100%, right there at the center and core of the joys and the challenges. So I just want to speak out and speak a word of blessing for all those who are being affected and impacted, and I don't know of anybody who isn't. So just feel my love, my compassion, and speaking out to whatever your present circumstance is right now. And also just want to acknowledge that we have all been through a lot in the last couple of weeks. We are finally on the other side of a very a stressful election process. And yes, we have a new president. Shift has happened. Transformation is happening. And if you got to see last week's Sunday talk by Reverend Christopher Elijah, he did such an amazing talk. And he talked about how there is balance in our country. Now, he used the word balance. We could look at it as division, but I really appreciated his speaking to that we're almost balanced in our country of different ways of thinking. And so there is a new leader that will be coming forth. And but we also, what all of this has brought out is the emergence of a variety of ways of thinking. And so recognizing that part of our idea of creating a world that works for everyone is our willingness to be compassionate, to be understanding, to be open, to try to understand the various ways that others think and are. From a Buddhist perspective, if we can set aside anything idea that something is right or wrong or good or bad, we are all different. We are all different. We are all unique. And we're all on a different path and evolution of consciousness. And so I just want to acknowledge that there's just so much that is coming up in the world, and whether it's in our politics or whether it is regarding racism or segregation or oppression, various things that are painful. And there's this opportunity that we're experiencing for growth and expansion and learning about others and how we can really truly find this greater balance. So I appreciated Reverend Elijah's perspective of we have balance. We can look at it as, wow, we're really different in our thinking. But let's look at what do we have in common to learn from each other. And so I know that we're all we're working with this post-election and the virus, and there's just so much that I feel unsettled. I can feel it in my body. And I'm reminded always by the season of fall. You know, this fall is so beautiful around St. George right now that nature is winding down and showing its beautiful colors and also getting ready to let go. And that's really what we all have this opportunity to do, of letting go of old ways of being and letting go of the life that we thought was sort of normal. And there's something new coming. And keeping our hearts open to what that possibility is. I was thinking about a term, again, in Buddhism, it's pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And a contemporary way that I put it is change is inevitable, but clinging is optional. And so as we let go, as nature is letting go and making room for something new, we all are having these opportunities to let go of old ways of thinking and old ways of being. And there is something, we know that evolution is always an expansion. It's an expansion of consciousness, even though we don't know where it's going to go and what it's going to look like. So wherever you are today, just know, just like the song that Cheryl so beautifully sung to us earlier, you are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of God. And so as I step into the topic today is how engaged is God in us? So the idea is God is fully present. God is fully present, 100% there for us. How are we allowing that expression to come forth and come through us? Are we engaged with truth? Are we engaged with truth and love and peace, passion and honesty? These values, these are the values that we embrace and live to the best of our abilities through our philosophy here at Centers for Spiritual Living. And that is what's at the center and core of our being, because that's the very life that we breathe. God, Spirit, the One, whatever the word is that is meaningful for you, that life force that lives within us is 100% engaged. And spirit can only express itself in the world through us, through you, through me, through our voice, through our actions. How are we showing up in the world? And so I wanted to read a quote by our founder, Ernest Holmes. And it's about showing up in the world and not pulling away from the world because of our, if we want to be a spiritual being, it's not about pulling away, but it's about bringing the truth into our lives, into our actions, and mastering the mastering our thought and our way of being. So Ernest Holmes says it this way: we need not to leave the world, for we may engage in all of its activities without being controlled by them. We may be in the world of affairs as masters, masters of our minds and masters of ourselves. So he's saying we don't have to pull away. Part of what we have this opportunity to do is to master our thoughts, to master how we live in the world and how we're bringing spirit expressing into the world. And so how do we do this? How do we become masters of our thought and masters in the world? We do need to keep our connection strong. I'm thinking about athletes. You know, we see athletes on the world stage as being tuned and toned and have their craft perfected. But what we don't see always is the practice that they take day after day after day to be that strength, to be that coordination, to be the best expression as an athlete, whatever their sport is. And so we need to keep our connection with spirit strong and anchored. So our inner work is what allows us to be a greater presence, the hands and the feet and the voice of spirit in the world. But if we're not anchoring ourselves in our spiritual work, our prayer, meditation, our study, that's where we're turning within and staying connected to that truth that is beyond the appearance in the world. And so just like professional athletes, we practice daily. So keeping our inner connection strong. How do we master our thoughts? Is being able to put our attention on truth. And one way of doing that is to practice meditation and focused attention, so that no matter what is going on in the outer world, we don't get pulled away. You know, there's that movie, I can't remember the name of it, where it's a squirrel. It's like, whoop, whoop, I'm over here. So what we want to do is to be able, no matter if there's barking dogs or there's squirrels or there's things going on, we want to be able to stay focused on truth. You know, our beloved practitioners, that's what their training is, that if you need spiritual support, if you're not able to stay focused on truth, that's what our beloved practitioners are for, is you can sit with the practitioner and no matter what the experience is that you're sharing, their whole focus is seeing the truth of your being and seeing beyond whatever that experience is and affirming truth. One from the idea of compassion, there's some amazing science that is looking at brain function and neural function of the brain when we strengthen our ability from meditation and the areas of our when we look at the brain, the MRI scans of the brain, many studies have been done of how the brain changes with regular, focused, mindful meditation practice. And what's really amazing in relationship to compassion and empathy is that when we look at focused attention, and a lot of studies have been done with the Buddhist loving kindness meditation, which is a loving compassion. And what they have discovered in research of the brain is with regular meditation practice, various kinds, but the parts of our brain that are part of the compassion and empathy part of the brain light up more. And the amygdala, which is the fear and fight or flight part of the brain, that part of the brain shrinks. And our prefrontal cortex, which is our conscious mind, that part of our mind gets stronger. The beautiful thing in brain studies that have been done, and I'm referring to an article here. It's from Berkeley, UC Berkeley, their Greater Good Science Center. And the article is called How to Train the Compassionate Brain. And we can train our compassionate brain. And they've had groups that have worked with the loving kindness meditation, which is taking time to focus on sending loving kindness to others. And then a control group where they're doing another practice, but not necessarily practicing mindful meditation. But what they've discovered in various research is that part of the brain that feels connected to others, and the part of the brain that feels compassion gets stronger, and there's more neural pathways and more lighting up of that part of the brain. Here's another wonderful part of research that's being done is in our brain, we have something called mirror neurons. So neurons are nerve cells in our brain. And we have something called mirror neurons. And those nerve cells actually pick up the energy and of others. So some people know that they're very sensitive to the energy or what's going on in the room or with certain people. And sometimes we get around certain people and we get agitated. Or people get near us and they just feel more calm. And so there's actually something that's happening in the brain. Imagine my brain, here's my mirror neurons, it's like a radar. And if I am focused on feeling compassion and sympathy and empathy, which I'll talk about in a minute, others around, their brains will pick up the energy of what's happening in my brain. And so we can use the strength of our conscious mind to just bring a greater sense of peace to others around us just by strengthening our interconnection with spirit. And so what I wanted to do was just do a brief loving kindness meditation to center us. And many of you have they're very long versions of this to help us reach out of ourselves and also be able to connect with others. And so as we contribute to being the hands and the feet and the voice of God and being the compassionate presence of God, I just want to give us an opportunity to just sink in to that place. And I want to just guide us in just a couple of minutes of meditation, a loving kindness meditation, to just tap into that place of compassion and loving kindness in all of us. And I encourage all of us to do this daily and do the longer version of it. So, wherever you are, I'm just going to invite you to get comfortable sitting. If you feel comfortable, just letting your eyes close or half close. Just taking some long, deep breaths. Feeling the body relax, feeling the shoulders drop. And we bring our attention away from the outer world. And just for a few moments, we bring our attention inward. We bring our attention to this present moment right here, right now. Taking another deep, deep breath. I just invite you to bring to mind someone or something that you love and care about. Could be a beloved friend or a partner or family member. Maybe it's your beloved pet. Could be someone here right now, or maybe even someone who has moved on to the spirit world. Just bring to your mind and your heart someone or something that you love and that loves you. And just imagine quietly in your own mind right now, seeing that person or that pet and saying to them quietly in your own mind and heart, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be well. May you be happy, healthy, and well. May you be happy. May you be healthy, and may you be well. And now I just invite you to just gently let that loving person or present just fade. And if you can, just bringing to mind someone who you might be a little challenged by right now. It could be a family member, it could be a coworker, maybe it's someone or something larger in the world. Just bringing to mind that person. And as best you can, with an open mind and an open heart, quietly say and envision, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you be well. And then taking a deep breath, and letting that go. Just noticing that that might have been easy for you, or that might have been a little bit challenging. And just imagine now in your mind our whole world. The whole world. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be well. Taking a deep breath now, just gently letting the eyes open and connecting in. So we have just done a very brief, compassionate, conscious meditation, visualization of strengthening the part of our brain and our ability to feel compassion and imagine compassion. So it can be trained. We can be stronger in that quality that we need more than ever in the world now. I just want to read a story that was in the Science of Mind magazine, and maybe you read this already. It's in this month's Science of Mind magazine, called Authentic Compassion, a call and response of the human heart. It's by Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones. He talks about the difference between sympathy, empathy, and compassion. Sympathy is often a more intellectual understanding of what someone else is going through. And then there is empathy, which is having an experience to relate to with someone else who may be suffering. And then there's compassion, which is a feeling, the intellectual understanding, and also the feeling part of someone else's experience, to really fully be present there with them. And I'll just finish with this story that see what it means for you. As a father and his 2 young children boarded a cramped bus, they discovered seats toward the back. The bus no sooner pulled away from the stop when the 2 youngsters began running back and forth up and down the aisles, screaming and carrying on. Their father sat stoically, appearing not to care. After a bit, many of the passengers started to mumble. Even some turned and glared disapprovingly to the father, who just sat there with a blank look on his face. Eventually, the bus came to the man's destination, and he stood up, and the kids ran down the aisle in front of him. Before stepping off the bus, he paused, and he turned to the passengers and said, "Please forgive my children. We're returning from the hospital. Their mother just died, and they don't know how to deal with their feelings with this loss." So there was a sudden silence that swept through the bus and the passengers as they caught their breath. Many of them realized that they had rushed to judgment, and they could only sense the pain that he was experiencing. They were feeling empathy for this man that they didn't even know. So sometimes there are things that are going on in the world, and people are having experiences that we may have a judgment. We may think we know what's going on, but oftentimes we don't. And so our invitation is possibly, when there's something going on and there are people who are acting in ways that we don't understand or that we don't like or that we think we know what's going on, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't know what's going on. And this is where we can open our hearts and be understanding and look for the presence of God in the midst of screaming children, in the midst of those that are in pain. You might be the man or the woman on the bus today that is experiencing pain. And things are out of control, but there's nothing you can do but just hang on. And if you're the passengers on the bus and feeling judgment or feeling like things need to be different than they are, consider the possibility that in the midst of whatever is taking place, there is that one mind. It is the mind of God. It is perfect. It is my mind now. There is just one heart. It is the heart of God. It is our heart now. So as we go forth today out into the world to be compassionate conduits, remember, how is God expressing through me as the hands and the feet and the voice of love? I'll just finish with a quote by Maya Angelou. And Maya Angelou says, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Let's just close in prayer. Taking a deep breath, we come together. We go within and we connect with that life, that truth, that love that God is right where we are. The very breath that we breathe is the presence of God that is fully engaged in and through us. And so just by being, just by breathing, Spirit is present. And as I know that the very breath that I breathe comes from that infinite life that I call God, I know that it is right here where I am. I know that it is right where you are, wherever you are, wherever we are. There's no separation here. We're all one. So I'm just trusting and knowing that we are all moved in heart and mind to be the voice of God, to step up wherever our work is to do, whether it's to do our inner work and strengthen our connection with that compassionate, loving truth, or whether we are the ones that are stepping out in the world to speak up, to act. I'm trusting knowing that each one of us knows that we are the heart and the hands of God expressing. And that today, something has shifted, something has been released, and something is preparing to go forth. There's so much good happening. There's so much good happening right here, right where you are. So I give thanks. I give thanks for all that's taken place today in this service, knowing that each one of us have been touched by the words, by the music, by the message. And that as we go forth from this time, that our love, our compassion, our strength in connection with Spirit is stronger than ever before. That we are the ones that we've been waiting for. So knowing that all is well, that Spirit is present in and through all of life, I just release this prayer knowing that there is just one mind, one heart, one truth. All is well. I let this go, I let it be, and so it is. Amen.
Amen, indeed. Beautiful, beautiful, Reverend Hannah. Thank you. You helped bring some puzzle pieces together for me. That we are the hands, feet, and voice of God, and that we're the ones that we've been waiting for. That's powerful and awesome, and a lot of responsibility, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you. May we each find what's our work to do in moving forward. Thank you for that. Okay, wow. Oh, that was powerful. I hope it was as meaningful for you as it was for me. So this brings us to sort of the business part of our service. And I would just love to read to you a message from your leadership team. And I'm moved to explain what that means. Your leadership team is the core council, who was confirmed by you, the membership. And it is our team of practitioners. We have 5 practitioners at Centers for Spiritual Living St. George. And it is our minister search committee, who are devoted human beings who are helping with that process. So we all came together in a prayerful visioning this week, and we are continuing the conversation regarding the wise use of our resources. And our resources are provided by you, our membership, is your investment in our spiritual mission. And we are coming close to a decision point, this turning point in our life as Centers for Spiritual Living St. George. And that decision point is very grounded in the certainty that divine guidance for each step is there and present and at work through each of us. And no matter how that vision and decision manifests, we remain partners with you in this great masterpiece that is Centers for Spiritual Living St. George, because we are, you, me, the team, everyone listening, and those who are not with us yet today, we are Centers for Spiritual Living St. George. If you are moved to contribute financially to the center and its ongoing purpose, however that manifests in the world tomorrow and the year to come, now is the time. Any dollar amount helps. One-time donations are always helpful, and recurring donations help us create sustainability. You can donate through text and online through Breeze. You can donate online through PayPal, and you can do the classic way of sending checks to Center for Spiritual Living St. George. All of this information is available on our website and in your newsletter, and reminders that come every week. So blessings to us all. Okay, as you know, and as you saw our video at the beginning, we are still searching for a minister, and we are working at being present and ready for when they discover that it is us that they are looking for. If you have someone who's interested, you can give us information and we'll get them connected to Reverend Julie, who fields the applications. Don't forget to join us at noon today in just about 7 minutes on Zoom. Reverend Hannah is going to guide us in discussion of the message. The link is on the website, on the news page, and in your newsletter and Friday reminder. So it's always the same link. So if you find any version of it, it's there. We continue to be here for your support, so the Community Care Circle. And our practitioners are ready and waiting to help you with prayer or any kind of support that you need. Prayer requests can go to prayer@cslstgeorge.org and use either one of our phone numbers to leave a message for any service that you are in need of. And Reverend Hannah is inviting us to a special gathering the night before Thanksgiving, so Thanksgiving Eve. It's a gratitude gathering for an hour of meditation and sharing our gratitude for the blessings that are present in our life, and to set intentions for further gratitude in the year ahead of us. And after that hour, she will also lead us in a joyful dance jam at 7:15 for about a half an hour. So here's the Zoom link. It's also will be in your reminder this next week. So, and a message is also going out, a special save the date is going out on Monday. So all of the information is easily available for you. I'm super excited. I'm super duper fan of the dance jams and expressing gratitude. So please come join us. The book club goes on. You can connect with Sue Fulmer to let her know that you are interested in the ongoing book club, or just show up. The information again is available in your normal resources. And we hope that you will continue to join us. Next week we have returning to us Eugene Holden. Topic is God is not motivated if you aren't. He is going to be one of our regulars now. If you got to see him last month, it was joyful and wonderful. And our beloved Anita, one of our practitioners, will be here in 2 weeks with the theme, The Grateful and Cheerful Receiver. And may we all be that. Okay, so Chris is going to bring us all up onto the screen. And together we are going to do the closing affirmation. And I hope that you join us at home and read along with us. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in all that I do.
I am it, I embrace it, and I share it.
Just the way that it is, and just the way that it is becoming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yay!
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for being with us today. Have a blessed week.
Wonderful team. Good job, team. Wonderful.
We'll see